1-0. Here we are, who we are, folks. You probably saw on one of our previous videos where we were talking about the debate between Carson and Wes Huff. I think it was a very interesting debate because Billy Carson was pointing out many of the flaws and many of the things missing in the biblical text and citing them perfectly. Some of them he didn't cite totally perfectly because he came to this debate not expecting that it would be a debate. According to Billie, one of his friends wanted him to come over just to hang out and just to talk one. And unknowingly, he found himself in a debate with a fundamentalist biblical scholar who caught him by surprise when he had just gotten out of the hospital and was sick, recovering from an illness. To make this betrayal even worse, this friend of his recorded it and began to put videos out all over the place. I don't know why or what the case was, but upon seeing the videos, I commented that Billy Carson was right. And any one of us who have gone to a liberal seminary, a real seminary that goes through historical critical method, it looks at the history, looks at the archaeology, all of those things surrounding what is in the text. Anyone who has done that knows that Billy Carson was right. And so, having forgotten about it, I was watching another scholar called Paul Wallis. You can check Paul Wallis out. He has a great channel called The Fifth Kind, and he's been studying many different texts from many civilizations and biblical texts for years and years and years. He was an interpreter and a teacher of people in the Anglican Church of Australia, teaching them how to interpret biblical texts. So he's an expert. And he said exactly what I said. He said that Billy Carson was right. The thing that was really bad about it, though, was not only did he say Billy Carson was right, he actually went to the places where this Wes Huff was really working, and he was explaining things and using all type of words that your average person couldn't understand, showing how adept he was and intelligent he was. And turns out that Paul Wallis said that he wasn't telling the truth. All of these words, all of the BS, the sounding like he was an expert, all of it was false, a smokescreen. And as Billy Carson said, every time something really came up that could lead to the truth and needed to be discussed, for some reason, the moderator skipped it, as if the moderator knew that Billy Carson would prove his claim. My question coming out of this is it all right to be a liar and a Christian? To protect the faith, is it all right for you to come out and to lie about what's written in the biblical text and lie about the historicity of the Bible? Is it all right for you to become a politician and lie to get in a place of power? These are the questions that we really have to ask nowadays, you see, because we find so many liars who claim to be Christians who are only seeking power, going against the Bible, going against the teachings of Jesus. And my question is that all right? Are you a Christian? Are you a liar who considers yourself a Christian? Or I might say someone who continually doesn't tell the truth in order to gain things. You see, when I was young, we called those types of people hypocrites. My mother was a Pentecostal, and the main idea of being a Pentecostal was doing what the Bible said instead of just talking about it and doing the opposite. We, the people of the United States, live in a world where the Bible had been brought to us by people who were murderers, rapists, and thieves to kill, to rape, and to steal from other civilizations that were not as advanced when it came to weaponry. And so the missionaries came forth with a Bible. They denounced the other people's heritage. They told them that their relatives were demons and devils. They used their science to trick the native people into thinking that they had the power of some God with them. And then once the native people decided to become Christians and to live in peace, the army came in and crushed, killed, and destroyed them. And so what I'm saying is that we need to question whether there is any Christianity in this nation. What we have here is not Christianity. It is the desire to take power, not only of the physical realm, no, but of the hearts and the minds of each and every person, so that that spark of God will be snuffed out by false ideas of a warlike God that doesn't exist for those who walk in love and didn't exist for the prophet Jesus. So here we are, going around in a big circle again. And when people try to tell the truth, the liars rise up. Perhaps they spoke out against him because he was African American. I don't know, but I know there are a lot of our European American brothers and sisters who become jealous and envious and hate anything that African Americans do, especially if they do it perfectly. This could be the answer. There could be many other answers. But the one thing that I know for sure is that what was done was despicable. And I know that if one's faith is based on that Bible coming from heaven and all of those stories being history, if that is the case, that person is not a Christian at all. Christianity is a religion of not belief, but of action. It's a state of being. It's a place where your heart tells you the truth and right and wrong. And from your heart, you feel empathy and sympathy and love for the other. And if you do not feel that, I think it's time to go back to the drawing board. Because I don't think that you are a follower of Christ. You're just a believer who is trying to buy fire insurance in case what you say you're believing is true. You cannot hate your brother and sister. You cannot be a racist. You cannot be a white supremacist. You cannot hate gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. You cannot hate anyone and be a Christian. So if you hate people, it is up to you to either not be a Christian anymore or stop doing it. Of course, that is just something that a person who loves the divine, God, Goddess, whatever you want to call it, for real. A person who does not have to take pleasures and holler about my belief system because my belief system can be seen by how I am, what I do, and how I love. There are many ways of behaving in this world. Sometimes one behaves with patience and kindness. Sometimes it's necessary not to do so. Sometimes one must rise up against a person in opposition when you know that that person is not only destroying you, but the world around you and the fabric of the world around you, and that in the future they will come upon devastation if they do not change their behavior. And that, you see, bringing people back in harmony with the universe, not out of malice, but because of concern and because of protecting other people. That is the religious walk. That is the mystic walk. That is the combination of the human and divinity. That is the exact same thing that they talk about in Christianity when they talk about putting on the mind of Christ, crucifying the ego daily so that one can become that light, that spirit, that divinity, that spark that shines within the heart of each and every human being. And if that is not possible, I think it's time to go back to the drawing board. Billy Carson was right. And so is Paul Wallis. And so is anyone who seeks the truth in love and who brushes aside the many idols that the human family has created in order to thwart the true connection with the divine. Thanks for being with us. Visit our website at nextstepcoaching.mysite.com. Hit the bell, subscribe so you can hear more things from this station. And you can find many free and interesting things on our website. May your day be wonderful and beautiful. And may justice from your hearts. Not because you have to, no. Not because you have to. From your heart, may it roll down like rivers of living water. And when that begins to happen, you will know that you have arrived. Thank you.